Hey, I'm RT and welcome back to RTsWorld. So today I have a very special casino tutorial video for you. And yeah, this in the background is a King of Luck, or in German, Alles Spitze casino. And yeah, today I show you how it works, and the viewer who suggested this idea was Zero Guthaben, and you can see his comment here in German. And it basically says, yeah, this is a very popular slot game in Germany and usually also in online casinos. And it's one of the best slot games in his opinion. So I wanted to challenge myself to build such a casino, and honestly I didn't know about this game before. So I really had to investigate everything by googling it and really making sure I understand the game. And I think I came up with a pretty nice idea which comes very close to the King of Luck casino you can play online. This video will only be structured in one part, so we have only the explanatory part and where I try it and show it to you. A tutorial is out of the scope of this video, since it would take like 1 to 2 hours to build this block by block. So yeah, this time only explanation, but I will try my best to explain everything to you, that it works and that you can build it by yourself. So first of all, we have to establish the rules. So as in the usual version, or as in the online version, you have to fill those slots, and we have here red, we have yellow, and we have green. And here in gold we have the jackpot, the main prize, and here on the top we have the droppers that dispense us the prizes if we want to cash out. So in this casino we have to decide when we want to cash out. However, in my version it's you're only able to cash out if you have one slot completely filled up to the top. So it's not possible to cash out, for example, if you have 2 lamps in red, 1 lamp in yellow and 3 lamps in green. So you have to fill one slot completely to cash out. And it's also described here on those signs where it says win 1 netherite block for every completely filled slot, 3 in total, and fill all 3 slots during one game to win the jackpot. So you can also press this button at any time, you can cash out if there's a full slot, and you will restart the game automatically by pressing the button. And yeah, here's also suggestions for how you want to stand here. So for best game experience, stand a quartz slab and aim at the middle netherite block. So we will do that now. We stand on this quartz slab, aim at this netherite block. And as we can see now, if I go to full screen mode, we can really nicely see everything and yeah, basically play here. And by just pressing Q, we can see that the casino now started. We have this kind of conveyor belt style casino, and now we have one yellow. By the way, there's yellow, red and green for winning. There's the gold block. If you hit the gold block, yeah, you can see that we get a lamp on every slot. So that's basically our joker block. And there is also the netherite block, which is basically our losing block, or the devil in the real King of Luck. And yeah, we have green again. And there's also the black one, because in the real game or in the online game, you can also have like half-filled slots, and that's what I basically tried to represent with the black concrete blocks in the conveyor belt you see there between the arrows. Yeah, now it's black, so nothing happens at all, but it's fine. So yeah, we will play it now until one slot is filled, if we can even manage to do it. Another green. Come on, we can do that. Oh, black again. But we were lucky. As you can see here, there's the netherite block. If we hit those blocks, we lose everything. So it's an everything or nothing casino basically, and you have to decide when you want to cash out. So let's try one more time. Oh shit, yeah, so now we basically lost, and as you can see now all the lamps are vanishing. Nothing will happen. So basically how this works is, and I will try to, or I want to play it once more. I just want to show you how it works when you want to cash out. Now we have the green slot completely filled up, and now we can end the game manually. And by doing so, it will reset and we will win our prize. So we can cash out at any point in time, but if we want to win the main prize, we have to stay in the game until we hit the jackpot. And if we do so, we have to fill all those 3 slots to the brim. And yeah, here's our conveyor belt between those 2 arrows. And now that I showed you everything, yeah, here's also our profit chest. So here's all the netherite ingots we can profit on. And of course, this casino is completely customizable. You can choose basically any item that is stackable as your currency you want to play with. And you can also adjust, of course, those droppers in the top where we can win netherite blocks this time. So completely customizable. And yeah, what I also wanted to show you is now how it works. So first of all, we drop in here a netherite ingot, and down there we have basically item filter. So this item filter will let one item into this chest here, and by doing so, it will give a signal of signal strength of 2 for a short period of time where it travels through the hoppers. And this repeater then transfers the signal down here, and I can simulate basically throwing a netherite ingot up there by pressing this button here. It will remove this block here, so if you throw in now more items and want to mess with the casino tech, you're not able to do it. So really wait until everything has stopped, until the lamp is lit, and so you won't lose any items. Of course, that's also to protect the casino owner, so nobody can basically mess with your casino tech. Everything is like fail-safe. So if somebody wants to increase their chances by like cheating or throwing in multiple items, nothing will happen because this block is retracted. So here we have a pulse extender, and then we run into this pink circuit where we basically have a non-stackable and a stackable item. So 50% chance of hitting signal strength 2 and 50% chance of hitting signal strength 1. If we hit signal strength 1, we go to the right. If we hit signal strength 2, we go to the left. Since this piston extends and one tick later, this repeater tries to transfer the signal through this block, which is already at this point here, so nothing will happen. So that's the left version. And then we have this here again. We have again this 50% chance of hitting signal strength 1 or 2. And again, this basically OR gate where we just limit the output to 1. And what this does is basically we have one input and we have 4 possible outputs. So I can show that to you by just grabbing very shortly a redstone lamp. And I will put this lamp here on top so we can see everything very well. If I'm pressing this button here, we can see that one of those 4 lamps will light up, and it's completely random. It's 25% each for each lamp. So 25% chance for each lamp. Yeah, now we have this one. So it's completely random which of those lamps will light up. And what those lamps do is, or basically what those circuits do here, these are timer circuits where we have 4, 7, 10 and 13 items. So that's basically the pulse length. So if we, for example, where are my buttons? So if we, for example, replace those lamps again through those buttons, and we press, for example, this one here, it's a very short pulse. So as you can see, this line here was only powered for a very short period of time. And with the last one, with the 13 items, it's on very long. So the conveyor belt here travels very long in a circle. So that's basically, yeah, now we lost also. And here are the steps in between. So we here have the middle versions basically. And what it does is we create here a redstone signal that powers this conveyor belt. And this is the brain of the casino, this conveyor belt system. That's where everything happens. Here we have all our fancy blocks where yellow, green and red are for filling the slots. Gold is our joker block and netherite is our devil block. And the black block does basically nothing. So that's our conveyor belt that cycles through. And respectively for each of those blocks, I coded a signal strength with those composters in a second conveyor, which is completely in sync. And to show you what it means, what I mean with coded is, here we have a signal strength 1 for the green block. I just filled this to level 1, the composter. Here I filled it to level 2, that is the yellow block, so we have 2 signal strength. Red is 3 signal strength, the gold block, the joker, is signal strength 4. And signal strength 5 is our netherite block where the composter is filled the most. So as you can see here, those composters are filled to different levels, therefore they represent a different signal strength if you read them with a comparator. And yeah, we can see here is our winning item basically. And these 2 conveyor belts are in sync, so this is basically signal strength 5, read by this comparator. Here we have the signal strength converter or the reader, where we basically end up with only one output. So we have here signal strength 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and only the redstone torch on the 5th, or signal strength 5, is light up. So I can press like the button to play the casino once more to show you how that works. So now the conveyor belt cycles again, everything is in sync, and then it stops, and then we get an output, and this time we have a signal strength of 1. So green is our output, so we should have added one light to the green slot. I mean, it sounds more complicated than it really is, or it also looks more complicated than it really is. It's just 2 conveyor belts completely in sync. And what this contraption does here is, if you only have those brown circuits where the timers are, you will always end up with a with an even number. So we have only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on blocks cycled. So you could never get the odd blocks in here. You have only the even blocks. And that's why I created this randomizer too, where we have 1 quartz block and in the hopper up now the stone sword, which is basically gives us 1 additional cycle. So we have then all odd numbers too in the conveyor belt. Just by 50-50% chance. We have always the odd, sorry, I always messed it up. So we have only even numbers in those hoppers. So we have only even numbers of pulses. So those will always go 2 blocks forward, but so that we don't skip every second block basically in this conveyor belt and make it unnecessary to have a conveyor belt with every second block filled in. We have this version here, or this contraption here, this small one, which by 50% chance adds just one single rotation more, and then we have the odd numbers too. So that's basically gives us a 50% chance of hitting an odd number and 50% chance of hitting an even number. And I can show you how it works by simply pressing this button here. So now we have a signal strength of 0 here, then we get a signal strength of 2, and this is all light up here. All this redstone is powered. And I try to do it again. Okay, now we again hit the stone sword in the hopper, so again 0 signal strength of 2. Repeat it one more time, maybe we can get the other output too. Of course not, because this is a video tutorial, and every time I do it like that... Yeah, now we got signal strength of 1, and that's basically nothing is here powered, so that's more or less our even numbers, and before, when everything is powered here, we have the odd numbers. And yeah, if I show it to you from the front, we now have only the green one light up, because we lost 1 round in advance, and now we have again the green redstone lamp here light up. So, by going on with the explanatory part, every time we play the casino, those pistons here retract, basically, so that those redstone lamps do not power those droppers here. Because I have here everything labeled in colors, so that's basically our signal strength to lamp converter. So if we have all, I guess there's 5 items in here, yeah, there's 4 there, and 1 is already in the upper dropper. So if you have all 5 stone swords in the upper droppers, we have a signal strength of 8, which powers all those lamps, and I just had to make sure that at every certain signal strength we have the correct repeaters set in, and yeah, basically transferring the signal strength into the slots into the lamps. So if I play the casino again, we can look at those pistons. So just throw a netherite ingot in there. So those pistons got retracted. We have here this wild kind of blinking of the lamps, and only if the casino is done, those pistons push the blocks forward. And yeah, now nothing happened. We basically hit a black block, and yeah, we can try it again. Again, wild cycling, and now we get the green one. So, yeah, we have basically here then 6 total outputs. So we have signal strength 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or no signal strength at all, which is the black block. And yeah, those I already explained, those droppers here, where the stone swords are transferred upwards for every lamp that is light up in the front. So we have here 2 stone swords, 0 stone swords, 0 stone swords, and that's also why we have here in the front 2 lamps here and 0 at the other slots. And then what it does if we hit the gold block is it basically triggers the orange circuit, and the orange circuit is just going from here to here. There's a monostable circuit, and if I power this circuit very shortly, so that's basically hitting a gold block. I just demonstrated that. We have one stone sword here and two there. That's because it has to update basically every time. So don't be confused by that. If the redstone torch is lit up here and you want to basically manually trigger the orange circuit here, you always have to update those blocks here too. And by doing so, we can get a stone sword up there too. But you have to update it every time, and that's also why those pistons go back and forward every time, so that we update the droppers. And sorry, one thing I missed too, we do the same thing for the reset circuit. If we hit the last output, which is the netherite block, basically when we lose, we power this block here, which is moved forward one block by this piston. We power another monostable circuit, pulse extender, running into an even longer pulse extender, running into a clock. And I can demonstrate that to you. So we have now 2, 2, 3. That's the lamps filled in the slots. And if I manually trigger the abort circuit, basically, this redstone torch will get powered off for a very short amount of time. And we have this clock here, which basically resets everything. It will get powered on after a certain amount of time when all those pulse extenders depower. And it's also very important to have here those pistons in between the droppers and the observers. And that's due to the updating process I explained before. We have to really update those droppers every and each time. Otherwise the stone sword will not move up and down correctly. That's why we have this rather complicated mechanism here with those pistons on the top and on the bottom. And yeah, I guess that's already it. So now we have to only discuss what happens if we win the main prize. So if we win the main prize, how can I show it to you in the best way? I will now fill all the lamps and then come back to you. So welcome back. I basically filled all the slots except one lamp of the red one. So I want to show you how it works if you win the prize and where the end gates are to really make sure that everything works well. So I basically moved all the stone swords from the lower droppers to the upper droppers and left one here in my inventory. If I put this stone sword into this dropper here, so you can see the other ones are filled with 5 swords, so 5 lamps, and this is only 4 lamps. If I put this sword in, we will win the jackpot or the main prize. And yeah, we have here all the slots now, yellow and green, powered to the top. So this redstone is on, so this torch is off here. The redstone goes only until here, till the signal strength 7, and if signal strength 8 is hit, if I put a stone sword in down there, this lamp will also go out, and this end gate here will basically depower, and it will depower this repeater, powering this torch here, lighting all the lamps, lighting some music, or basically starting some music, and also here, if you follow the orange track, and also firing all those 3 prizes twice, since here's an observer. So I can show it to you now. Hopefully I'm fast enough. So if I put this sword in here, as you can saw, it triggered 2 times, and we have 6 netherite blocks in total here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's everything done now. And that's basically how it works. So now all the redstone lamps or the redstone torches here are again lit up. Everything is reset, and it resets by triggering also this circuit here, this gray one, and running also into this end gate here with the monostable circuit, powering all those pulse extenders and resetting the whole contraption. And we can also now, as a last step, power the same process manually by simply pressing this button here. Then we follow the white redstone circuit. We follow it just here, follow it upwards. And as we can see here, we trigger the reset. And here we also trigger those end gates where if one slot is full, it basically depowers the torch, and we depower everything. I can show it to you by removing this torch here. Yeah, now I reset the casino again. But as you can see now, all those torches are depowered. And we need to depower those 2 to trigger this end gate here. And these end gates would, in theory, give us the prizes for the slots if we want to cash out during the game. And I will now show it how it works. So I will move all the red lamps, basically other swords for the red circuit up. So we have this line of red lamps or red slots completely filled up. And now this torch here is off. And if we power our cash out circuit, this line will also depower, therefore powering this circuit here and powering this line. Not powering the other line, since this repeater is only one way. And if I press the cash out button here, like this, yeah, we simply get our netherite block, we reset the game again, and all the lamps will, yeah, basically get removed. And I hope I explained it in a fashion that everyone, like, yeah, knew kind of what I wanted to explain. I hope I did it not too complicated. As always, I tried to be as easy as possible with the colors, so to really make sure that, for example, the blue circuit is for all the piston feed tape, so I won't go into that too much since it's a usual piston feed tape where it's, yeah, alternating signals, so one observer here, two observers there, to make sure that if this side is on, this side is off, and vice versa. And I did also not explain this circuit here, this light blue one, where it basically leaves this piston as long retracted as those timers are, since this timer is much longer than the first timer. So we have here different timer length, and so we account for that by having here an AND gate with this pulse extender if we start the casino and the timers, so we can only play again if those timers are finished back there. And this here is the last circuit I want to explain, with this the magenta one, and if we follow it, it powers all those pistons. So if we press start and therefore powering the light blue circuit, we also power this dropper, move the stone sword over into this side. By doing so, we retract the pistons here, and all those lamps can now flicker and go on and go off. And if everything is done and the timer stops, we have here a little bit of delay, and then we just simply move the stone sword from right to left again, and then we check which redstone torch is light up and transfer it upwards to our casinos, to our casino tech. And yeah, I also try to make it a little bit look more fancy. And as always, if you want to dig deeper into this casino, there's a Word download in the video description where you can simply download this redstone world. And yeah, I also really appreciate your support if you leave a like, or if you write a comment, or even subscribe to the channel, so that you are prepared for more of those videos. Also make sure to suggest any casino contraption you want to see on my channel. I will try my best to build it. Sometimes it won't be possible since there are really complicated casino games out there. Roulette, for example, is not that easy to build in Minecraft if you want to make sure you have all the possible options. But for example, this King of Luck casino was not that hard if you did it like me and you can only cash out on top of each slot. Usually you can cash out at any point in time, but it's much harder to do it, and maybe I will do such a video in the future. And yeah, that leaves me with just one thing to say. Thank you for your attention, and if you made it this long into the video, really thank you for your support, and I really appreciate that. See you in the next video. Bye bye.